perfect design. Armor up, all you saints of yours. Let us create the magical space, the atmosphere that transcends even the strange, you know, the ghost clouds in the universe that haze our Earth in spectrum. Like, don't interfere with our mood, bro. Like, our universe is a wild arena. It's haunted. The Let's armor up from within and create the correct. Welcome to the show. My name is Hatch. I'm here to. All right, buddy. Perfect design is basically a reference. It's a magical spell that makes I mean, I work with my body as my canvas. It's life as art, and the performance, the easel is when I realized, I'm really interested in painting and illustration. Uh, but what I realized, like in performance, it's almost like a liquid form, but it means like doing no, like no scripting, and um, it's a different lifestyle actually, but sort of Zen protocol resulting in lucid epiphanies, or just I'm a creature that can hold there in the wasteland of yon imagination land as we're talking. So let's open up the wizard circle. Welcome to the party, you guys. Everyone's being respected here. In the curvature of time, we are the wizards who are able to change the future. The way people speak, what are we connoting towards? Revolution. Master Source Industries, 55 Putney Road, startup. The advanced identity crisis of the universe is also the parable of the human condition. Self-mastery, an equation of producing hatch, is like the miracle source code. It's the most magical thing imaginable. I want to talk about the Breathe Mask XR startup, a magical house, and these sort of layered performances of Hatch in different suits of his family yawn, the apex of my madness, but then the opus of all. It was a real transcendent hand kabuki of life mastery achievement award producing Hatch, the invisible karma from like you know places where it's actually respectable to get a reward from. Something you might maintain, like, oh, that's from the creature of water Shema, and there's like, oh, they gave you an award for explaining that electro hydroelectric dams need to be sequenced in like dragon scales, like like a huge river, if you build it correctly, would take care. Like if we did, if we sequenced the Mississippi River, and they're working on it, they have a couple of them already. But for example, we are water spirits. And so it's to our intuition be like, this is like perfect, renewable, continuous energy. That's the power of our water body. And so it's somehow cataclysmic that we're like, oh, burn oily. I think there's a speech, there's an identity. Oh, the universe is, and then something like that. Okay, so there's like this like 20% cut of like, okay, why is there a garbage island floating in the ocean? Like, there's a serious protest going on here, and it's just like flat lines. Like, mm, that's like the curvature of like the adult people have had their, all right, and you can see it visually, or the garden, the planet is like a computer. You can see and understand the orientation of where we are and the destiny of our people on this planet and the orientation of our universe. We just simply need to get smarter because Earth is actually a very smart place. As the apex planet of the entire universe exists on the fact of what Earth is and the parable of everything. And then the parable of yourself in the contrast of this. Now multiply your future potential, here's the crystal to your mind, unicorn horn. Wear it continuously, your own design, fracture, multiply times 1,000,000. Bear the work of your hands, and cascade the spirit all beyond your body dome. A continual Iron Maiden, and capture your soul. The epidermis, spring trap, perfect design, create your own atmosphere, self-control. We are the technology, the identity of society. We're making progress here. Producing hatch means furthering society. Oh, you guys, I'm very excited, and this isn't I want to have those times where we're working as a production, and we're talking about producing this idol. Is this like an exciting American communication talent? He's an artist, and um, it's not that I'm trying to break something or be different in that regard. I think that when I'm watching TV, it's like pat a drum, pat a drum, pat a drum. Like people are always like, I get it, like they have like two different things that they're doing here. All right, and but they're not consistently talking about. Let's visualize the future. Oh, a perfect bullseye. Oh, it feels so good. It's like hitting a perfect bullseye or hole in one. Eternal value and self mastery. We are the masters. We are the monsters of Earth. Whilst we are healthy, we are clad in an armor like we are bulletproof. Nothing can stop our waking stare, our somber tones, our piercing comprehension of the things before us. But when there's a dwarf sign and a Armageddon in 100 years from humanity's quake, why, that's when it all becomes a vouch. Like there's a very simple explanation for why humanity is acting like a retard. It's not like, oh, it's always this way in the garden. I can't stand that new music from these kids. Like, oh, you fucking idiot. It's the apocalypse of the entire universe. Did you see the rainbow turn inside out? Freaking people are like, oh, that can't happen. We can't be important to the universe. Well, we certainly are. You human of the junk DNA speech impediment. You're like paid per order, like your little consumer bot on the unintelligent side, and everyone's just kind of going unintelligent. And because they talked off in this 2020, the Earth knows humanity like the back of his hand, but Earth also knows the wounds of paradise. Venus and Mars murdered by these freaks who think that they can change the universe by spitting on these people, these women and children, not expecting this to have been communicated properly. Some sort of science experiment. There's no authentic epiphany there. Just a headache and like a potential lights out for mankind of facing extinction. We have to define ourselves as junk DNA aware, awakened, or rather streamline it to our public regard. Batman, South Park, and The Simpsons. Hatchpan, Heliosphere, Pokey Little Puppy cartoons. Service Pup. Order online and bacon for head. Okay, so we are the wizards at the beginning of like this beta thing. Well, that's been the consistent mood, yes. Like this sort of intensity, right? It's not just about intensity though, and yeah, when we're talking lucidly, which we are right now, it's completely magical. But more to the point, you guys making this happen is a couple $1 million. Wow. For me, this is like everything is, and it's amazing. And so I love you guys really because as an agent, an angel, or a figure in my life, you guys are literally like the best thing that's like ever happened to me. So if you just try to armor up from within and try to appreciate my energy and don't get like drunk and be like, oh, he's gonna do great. When if you feel that way, you're gonna be like, oh, this guy's good on the public. Like, let's make some money here, people. Ching, ching. Like, that's what you guys do. I'm saying, produce me. I need you to put me under your wing, take care of me, like I'm your boy. Hey, oh, help me out here, you guys. Seriously, all I've been lacking is money. Like, okay, like I've been working hard on this, and I know that you guys appreciate hard work. I've been working for 3 years, much longer than that actually. Uh, but it's like there's really, hmm, where I know it's loose. I know we're in a lucid historical moment. You guys making this happen, feel it, and don't hesitate with the feelings. Like do some magic on your way, and be like, oh, let's make society better. Yes, yeah, okay, let's do that. So magic over the map, and let's complete this right now, you guys. You and me, our relationship in the family tree as it quakes sounds elf lightning. The source code of a cell phone? All right, armor up, you guys. We're going to wield the technology and perform the resident physics to stabilize the nucleus of our continued Batman and South Park, etc. Right, you guys? And, New York City, London. These are the things of our people dome, and this is the arena part of our homedom. And there are actually barriers like helium dome and then into heliospheric space, and there's a lot of blankets between us and another life-sustaining garden that has creatures going around on it, and like the frequency of the real frequency that sets us apart is our culture and society, or basically the common languages and stuff like that, like what we're sharing. And so that's really important to protect that. And we want to like have horse blinders for that creature because that's what's raising this family. And it's also responsive to our own frequency identity, spawn location gravity, with all things in consideration, to balance the equation of our own cell phones and technology. So as we're making our own source code technology, our artwork is tantamount to that creature development. And they're very grafted in, and it's like a whole story about our history. And that's really important as the Earth is turning around the sun, recording just who we are. Because it all accumulates to the perfect epiphany of identity in the hatching of the heliosphere eggs, which is a very enlightened thing. Even if everyone on the earth, if we were all very enlightened, it would still be very difficult to comprehend that because what we should be comprehending and what would, it's almost perverse to think about Hatch heliosphere eggs. So Hatch is this like Dare Brando Hatchpan heliosphere. He's like perversely overpowered. He's this humongous monster. Yeah. So we're gonna turn the whole society, you guys. It's revolution, and bam, 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 on all these levels. Each one of my works is a revolution. Breathe the Mask XR is a social revolution because it's a new uh, platform, and that's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna save lives. And it's sort of like instead of us, uh, you know, sort of losing to Delta Plus. What the? Oh, fucking hell! It's like this is terrorism, and you guys, this is way, you know, like it's almost like what the wolf was saying about when things become, what the definition of things become obscure, and then it flips. Okay, this is no longer that. The Delta Plus means that we're dealing with like a weaponized killer because it's like okay, with modern medicine and all the technology that we have, oh, this thing might kill you. Like what? Because like I understand humanity has dealt with plagues in the past. Oh, what like the measles? Like stuff that we are like, oh, like oh, what did they have? Like they had like things that we figured out with penicillin, or is like curable. Okay, this is not like that. Right? This pandemic is not like a plague that we've had in the past. is because we have more excellent hospitals, but we also have more scientists who are making weaponized things. So that's actually what we're dealing with, and everyone, including the government, is behaving as if this is cut off the back of an animal. It is, oh, did someone sneeze? Children dying. This is not, this is not the same thing. It's a different caliber. Their linguistics is broken. They don't understand what's in front of them. There's like larger things, but they're like, that can't be right because what are you just denying that women and children are in jeopardy? Oh, just calm down and go back to, like, look, Delta Plus is what I was like a month ago. I was going like, hey, Breathe the Mask XR could become relevant. You guys, hey, do you understand? And now Delta Plus and people are like, oh, about that Breathe the Mask XR, hey, come on, this guy is the before the flood angel, and you guys are, oh, we're gonna need to, no, shell, it's just paid for. It's this turnkey, gentlemen, turnkey revolution. Hatch is ready to go. He's a stallion, self-contained. It's a relationship, you guys. We're gonna change the world together. And that's the exciting thing at the wizard's table. Everyone's being respected. Armor up, you guys, all right? It's an investment in your soul. I'm talking about. Wind up the heart, the hand wound pocket watch of your heart. We're sharing breath. We're responsible for the future. We want the best thing for our children. We unite this thing. You guys, I can solve all these problems. It's not an identity crisis. We need to disconnect these things and then start leading with a more enlightened Shmao. Right, everything that Hatch has is laced with confidence. He has a muscle memory and the spirit pattern of larger comprehensions, and it's useful. The osmosis through storytelling. But what's really going to come is the pokey puppy little cartoons, and I'm not going to abandon this because this is my real communication with man and existence as well. Something so sacred. Hope that we will survive on this planet and continue to live. Won't you give Hatch a good home and allow him to fall in love and and make this thing because Hatch wants to do this state of the art thing and talk about robots and AI, and the female that attracts to me is of ilk. Understand? So we become this sort of light ending through the seasons of our Norn, and our family delights them in the suits of the vampire and the wolf king. Sometimes we're just running through the forest and speaking telepathically, changing the future with our maneuvers. Every movement, every second counts. That's why we're covered in micro calculations and documentation, the hair on our body. It's not some senseless matter here. As we move forward, the importance is compiling. Exponential gains for this and righteous more. But beware, a dark step or whatever, if you step on a nail. Watch yourself. You have a kamblumo of a dark naga or nightmare. And this will compress and change, but it is the confession of your bare soul. So armor up and suddenly, you have 100% capacity of your enchanted soul. Upgrade your ribcage. DNA. DNA can do this thing. It's like, what I've noticed is that there's an ill-favored eraser mark in the junk DNA. Like, over conveniently abundant forgetfulness. These are not the gifts of the enchanted ray of light, but the adaptation to junk DNA is. Almost is like imagination plus versus delta plus. It's like, can you guys have enough imagination to love Hatch? You guys just love on me, man. I love you guys. Come on. Oh, no. We're living, sure darn it. Let's make these things happen. We're gonna go beta with these breathe mask. Oh, yes. So we're in this house, and the first show is me working on the Breathe the Mask XR, and the boys are sort of ghosting around in the background. And that's really just the first, it's like an hour-long episode. And I'm talking about why it's important that there's a thing here. And I'm thinking like, well, this is like on point about 2021. You guys, by the way, let's fucking get going, right? Okay? Thank you, yeah. uh, save lives. You know, sooner the better. You guys, it's like, well, we have to fight for. Oh, you know, this isn't just like normal production. We're like at battle against that shit. Because Hatch was saying, the Wolf was saying, the word is absconded. Like, oh, Delta Plus is no longer just like, well, we survived plagues it could be before. You know, humanity is accelerating. It's getting, oh yeah, it's getting more intense. So we need a more intense leadership. That's Hatchpan. I'm king. Vroom. You guys, I'm gonna bring all the solutions. You know, it's gonna have a tremendous response. All right, the Pokepoppy cartoons is about us being adults, because then we can have moments, and then we're looking at the sunset and being like, I love this planet, and we just have to keep it. You guys, we have to keep our world. We have to keep our world. You know, these moments of, oh, what if like, you know, and then and we hear the princess start to cry a little bit. Wow, okay, that's gonna help. Or we to knock over the charging bowl of, you know, rampant conservativeness. You know, like dark believers. You know, oh, no one's really that smart. Oh shit, you know, like they see my stuff and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna change their goddamn mind. All right, that's how we change society. We need talk to people with respect. Or have it, you know, like it's a surprise party. And that's what's great about you know, the audience of a document. It's a little bit like, oh, wouldn't it be nicer to have a live performance? Yeah, well, we're taking, you know, it's absconded once from a live performance into a recording, so we've all made that adaptation. And basically, what ends up happening is I'm available to give like pure love to everyone who watches. This is amazing technology. Yeah, 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 recording. So, and you know, in the atmosphere when I'm falling in love with my female co-worker in this thing, oh my gosh, we could totally change everything, okay? And we'll go through some issues and talk about it and figure out how to think, you know, because it's a whole pressurized system, and you're going to boom, and then boom, and then you see that, and then boom, boom, shum, and you get that down, and then break, boom, 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 and we get some people and that trended, and I'm like, oh, that's absolutely this, and then we make a big deal about it, and we go, oh, that was the big new head of this thing, watch out, boy, meow. People are like, oh yeah, me, and they're like, oh, they go on that. So it's all this intuitive ride, right? We have it has to have that, at least, and Hatch has that as a director and as a performance artist. You know, we have great confidence in Hatch for that. Okay, because I'm looking forward to who I would become, and I'm just so excited, you know. I'm sorry. It makes me like. Sorry. I get like a little concussion when I think about how excited I am to perform these characters in the future. Imagine like, and I'm sending all my magic, and my unicorn horn is being like, "Oh, please, please!" It's like a little bleating sheep on the moor, and you can't fall asleep because you can hear it. I'm like, "Please, you guys, I fucking love you. Oh, please, like, I really need this. 55 Putney Road. This is it." No, you guys, like, this is because it's fandom to this. All right, this is the end of the road. At the end of the road, Trey, you need to do this now. Greenlight this project. Go, go. You know. All right, you guys. All right. All right. Let's just look at a picture for a moment. Just take a break, and let me figure out what I'm trying to say. Well, I'm working to open this company. Oh, well, yeah. Let's look at the breathing mask. Uh, So essentially, okay, the wizard circle here. What we're doing here as a society is we're going like, yeah, let's produce Hatch. All right, what we're making is a society spark greater than all this shit combined. And on top of that, well, this is my stallion technology, and it's actually like it has an identity. It's like a piece of technology. I actually there's an actual gear system inside his body, so he has technology all written through him. Sorry, but what I'm trying to say is like um I'm working for society, and this is my divine location. I need this place, and then we're gonna explode it and open up a huge factory here, hopefully with the ideal breather, and get people excited about that because they're scared about Delta Plus, and what we want to do is give an actual solution. This thing is a filtered air system. It's pressurized. It's bringing in air from the back side. It filters out all sorts of things, but it certainly filters out COVID-19. We get the real scientific filters in there, and they're expensive. But we show people how much that costs, and they understand. They're like, okay, well, if that's how much those pieces cost, and we make like uh, $100 for every mask. Is that too much? I'm not sure. Well, to who are you talking about? Is that for the right? Okay. So anyway, you guys understand we don't have to gouge people because we don't want to. So we do the mathematical thing and we crank it through. Because that's good business, okay? Because we're talking about this is sort of the gentleman's solution, okay? Because it's fun. It plays music. You can answer calls on your cell phone with it and connect it through your phone to GPS, and it has little a dashboard on the face visor. And there's different ways we're going to experiment with that, and it's going to go beta. People are going to be like, "Oh, it's so fun to talk about, like, oh, facial, like camera, in video games and interaction with the grid." All right, this is talking about mobilizing our economy, make sure people can get to work, especially in the cities, and getting kids to school safely. We want there's no tolerable amount of a death toll. It's like, oh, herd immunity. Well, some kids will kick off, but this is like accepted speech now for political venue, but it's veiled in their acting. What I see what they're really saying, that oh, this injection is enough. I've been saying a breather mask. I've been saying it for years. The correct leadership and response to COVID-19 was a breather mask XR. But instead, everyone placated and lied, and they waited for the injection, and now the injection is being transcended by Delta Plus. So again, if you were a time traveler, you would have already have produced Hatch. So the answer is to immediately produce Hatch and stop killing people with your inaction and go like a wolf to kill this land acquiry obscure. Gosh, bite down on the project. So we got to snatch up this land del Brando, this property bank. We need to smash it like it's no cost, or anything. But wait, just keep it in this area because we're working on a budget. All right, and then we fill it up with technology. This puts Hatch in a place. This is about mastery, you guys. I'm preserving my own like weird chastity so that I can be a weirdo and fucking change the world with my performance. And then I fall in love. Then people see that shit. Man, that's gonna change everything. You guys know it. And it's a spring trap from where I grew up. Oh hell yeah, that's gonna be fucking crazy. And it's going to give me a lot of energy, you guys. We want to see that stuff that's worth producing. I'm saying let's be teamwork in this. And like, you understand, I'm saying this is the right wielding of my lifetime. You guys can stand to earn a lot of money here. It's good for your reputation. The Breathe Mask XR is now understood as vital, right? Especially in situations where this thing is exploding. And the Breathe Mask XR, if put on the faces of kids and stuff as they're scrambling around, all right, we're seeing the warning signs in third world countries. And we know that we can wait on herd immunity, and that's also what people are normally like. Everyone's like, there's no really good solution for this. Oh, except for, the unpublished and, long forsaken Hatchpen heliosphere, the wizard of the arm of Cape Cod. Oh, right, the diadem of Earth, the king of Earth, who was wronged because of the junk DNA trigger. These creeps who haven't transcended their anatomy, but are slaves to the addiction of the down, confessing like a part of the group, like that was intelligent. You need to go out of your way to be kind to Hatch and produce him today. Happy 4th of July. What independence are you celebrating? My wife, my knife, the eternal Ganji. Alright, you guys. You're just a son of a bitch to my life. But I want you guys to make money, you understand me? I want you guys to earn a living producing Hatch. Talking about idle production. celebrity of a different ilk. So he brings around this company and creates this a beautiful spectrum and the enlightenment there. And as you guys know, to produce things, you're like, this is opportunity here, there, here, and because people have learned to expect it, right? They're like, oh, when do we get to? When can we buy? I actually have a fully completed graphic novel, a comic book. I mean, you've seen pieces of it. Um, it needs a little bit more work, but it's actually pretty much completed. And that could be something like, oh, he has a book. Bump. I absolutely. I have all kinds of things that we can put up. Anyway, I want to do it with some amount of extra effort, right? So they're not just a book with a flat thing or just the comic. Let's also have a thing and a thing and it's be like this nice book that's like, oh yeah, maybe. Although it does start to get perverse about storage. Like, do we really need a big book like that? But maybe the cajology of like a comic book. What if we made it really cheap, like 25 cents? Well, yeah. I think oh yeah, that'd be beautiful. Just make it a thin, just the comic then, with a beautiful cover, and like, oh, $1. Okay. I remember when Hellboy did that, and it was totally amazing. I went and got a copy for 25 cents. Wow, it was a really good comic. Yeah, I'll never forget that. It's all, oh, zombie head, screw on zombie head. Yeah. Good times. It would be wonderful to have my comic book be simultaneously released to like Japan, and people are just like, "Oh wow!" Because like my art is totally weird. It needs a little bit of work. Like I'd like to get it colorized by some like it's like really professional digital artist people. Like they're gonna like be amazing because there's a lot of inspiration in my characters. They'd get like, oh, because there's a little tiny world there, and they're like, oh, I can really. Mm. Oh, that would be great. So, like, a very affordable, like $1 for this comic, and then a worldwide release, that could pay for the whole thing. So, any one of these things could pay for it. And I want you guys to feel the urgency about saving lives and being free about, let's just love Hatch. Like, let's just be like, okay, Hatch is our boy. It's not, all right, we're gonna, bam, 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 like, boom, we're gonna change the whole world, you guys. To be excited about, right? When I'm talking to the human schmuck, it's like I start getting close to the squiggly spooch, and I'm like, oh, short attention span. Hatch is so challenging, and I start getting tired myself. I'm hypnotizing myself by my inner beliefs about you guys. Sorry. Change it, fix it, rewire. Perfect design, you guys. All right, thank you so much, you guys. Producing with urgency because of pandemic in relationship of look outside, that it's another fire in Canada, you guys. you know when are we going to be able to produce Hatch, right? We have to do this immediately. And this proves the sort of artistic snap of the US dollar. It proves that there's relevancy in life, and we're actually boom, Hatch is a huge American patriot, all about representing this home country. Oh, come on, you guys, seriously. I love America, absolutely. I'm like, when can we put in that flowing? We have to figure out how to honor the flag properly because just a beautiful smack in the face with those colors are so just red, white, red, blue. The stars kind of save it, I think. Yeah. Um, about how to do that, but I would like to do my own thing. I think there's a lot of like there's a lot of weird currents on that. And it's not to tap in and do the same thing, like, woo, the flag, it's just more like, it's a different brand, a different style of appreciating it, and people tune into it, they're like, oh yeah, that's style America, and like, maybe I'm talking about Christmas, nah, Christmas in America, America, like singing a song about about Christmas in America. Maybe that would make more sense. Uh-huh. Uh, Maybe that's how I feel about America. It's a miracle. It's a miracle, America. Truth be known, on reverse speech of English. Bubble up all about, and the source code, the fair burning mirror, who dare brand it in the mind, reveals the cascading of age, separal timeline to clarify your identity. Shroom, the body forbids this art. The body warns against using telepathic mirrors in your mind. Why is it a forbidden wizard magic? I must understand it with my mind. So I troubled myself with a long time understanding this parable. Shroom, it is a sharpening of your mind, and if you use it incorrectly, it could fracture your identity soul in the prismatic Juliet. Revealing the tiny mouse inside running on the hamster wheel, a naked cry in the night, and the soul transcending, breaking away, huge antlers of time, lightning bolts chiming in, like the Christmas tree of our society mind, as represented by the Christmas tree, is the junk DNA inside social coup, the reverse engineered style, the inside stench, what it's like to be on this Christmas tree. There's all this bitter language, you gotta understand it, but it's not to forgive the pollution. It's not to make pollution divine. It's to defeat it like a zombie, upstanding, when they'd be better off left behind and laying down in the grave. Okay. Zombie revolution. I have specs on that. Dare brandish. Perfect design. Um, I'm gonna be that sort of. Oh, and I think that's what I'll bring that mood into it. So my first. You guys, thank you so much. So producing Hatch. Oh, it's completely historical. It's amazing, you guys. It's amazing. Let's do it with magic. Let's do it with with belief that we're right. This is the best thing ever. It is actually, and but I've been patient, and I think you guys misunderstand my confidence because I'm working all the time. The Earth is digesting in clockwork to realign the spine of something that was actually disconnected. A dramatic collision of sign and orientation of mind and self. Trey Parker just had a taste of that. And for each one of these on watching along with us, a taste of it is offered to you. A piece of this Halloween trick or treat. It is the dare testing and the long spectrum of eternity on the diagonal of the green perception, technically. But don't allow the green perception to be abused in the gardens. Don't allow our green wizards to be harnessed in a certain way to cause Armageddon, like a blanketed effect. Why would that be craven when that's not human dialect? The parable not fading. We are resilient against extinction and Armageddon. We want to keep being the Earth people. We want to own Earth because when Earth hatches a heliosphere, it has to be all humans. We don't want this type of, it's actually quite corrosive and underhanded, and is not the power of a lifetime. The comprehension of the mind in the garden, the parable here, we understand it in the moment, and the truth, the kiss in the eye. Our relationship is infinite, and the universe depends on us to be the broken doll that understood it and became self-aware and transformed it and made the production of Hatch Pan. Grandstand it. Produce it through the ceiling. Like a punishment. All right, Hatch, let's see you dance. And Kraken, and then we're gonna see a fucking show. And he's gonna be all like, yeah. He's like, running on the to create the summons wheel of the dragon. 1980, summons up as incarnation, self-explanatory. The end of the road. Take confidence and own. My eternal prism identity. Perfect design. Etc. Etc. Like that. Right, because I also want my non-prismatic identity selves. It's like poetry can be so technical when you're talking to a green-eyed perception wizard, but when you're talking to blue-eyed perception wizards, it's totally a different affair. As well for the brown perception wizards, completely different arena. You guys are in a cloud like this where Hatch is the singularity, and what I see is that all of you guys have a blanketed effect of the thing on through the Junctine. It's unilateral, but it's actually the hidden thing that people have a speech impediment about. If you would offer up a friendship hand to Hatch Pan, it would solve it and end racism. Because there's a speech impediment that deep about extinction. Or like, oh, this is not good. And meanwhile, each of us have a certain predictable spawn location thing that's getting laser beams, like the murder of Venus and the orange planet, as if our asteroid belt means that the Earth has forgotten its past. This is like completely ridiculous concept about how shapes and energy operate. This vastness of immaturity, it stinks of like this is a huge situation for them where there's a bunch of bohemians on their side being like, maybe we should just let the humans be themselves. And I'm going to represent that. Hatch represents that as the gatekeeper on men. Okay, plan B. It's going to be okay, all right? I need to work for Earth and work this night. I believe you understand it. So get behind it and earn some money and save lives. It's your true soul is coming out, and you're transcending to make yourself the most in your lifetime. It's like you're in a battle against yourself. So don't be too friendly because you're the best one. You've transcended yourself as a wizard investment. A little bit later, that's going to be worth like billions of dollars in the wizard kingdom. Yeah, dude, magical. Oh, now you have two of them. Good job, you guys. Perfect bullseye. Armor up from within. And the argument is not against permanent continuum because it's identity based. It's not the parameters of rule making and breaking that causes the physics. There's always some identity dragon behind it. That is the Mandelbrot's creation model. That's how it sustains. It's on the back of the stallions of light. What's that exists there? And the stallion of Hatch is a voice generation greater, and let true love happen. Allow Hatch to be available to all of the women now understand a different dialect, and they're set free in a certain way. Let love happen. Don't restrict this stallion. Oh, you're not allowed to speak to women. Hey, that's in the curse of the Junctine and the track of it. That's the aim of a parable, like a hive mentality. We must follow the Scientology, or allow free speech to stay. Produce Hatch. Be a visionary for the future. Change the world. Hatch is the radical cyberpunk revolution. Perfect design. Oh yeah, it's my ecstasy. Feels good. Thank you guys so much. You are my best friends. I don't hate you, and I didn't attack you. It's that the speech impediment overtook you in your tumble ground of confusing. You had something that you should have clarified with mirrors, but you were too busy to do that because it wasn't your job description. So I need you to believe in the wizard when you feel that I understand what he's saying. That means produce it because it's for other people. And then you make money by being the appropriate communication wizard. Earth is asking you to do this, Trey. The wear map is completed when you purchase 55 Pony Road with urgency. This month, claim it, claim back your soul. And also remember to modify it on the way up. It's a wind tunnel, and you can do on paper with the South Park just right now in your mind. It's perfect design, nucleus, perfect design. Oh, it's so much more satisfying to do it on paper, so you have some definite, oh, I spent a little time on that. 5 minutes, it's going to change, so when you go through that, it unloads and it unwraps, you know, have a full transcendence of your angel wings and, rebirth whole society as your position with your publication as a CEO, company, but to give Hax this freedom and this publication to have his own company, that's karma reborn. Like you just, oh, okay, Hatch, what are you going to say? Oh, here he is. He's making money. Okay, guys, come on. Thank you guys so much. It's a Destiny piece. It's about America. It's the Aware map. And the Earth is talking about how he specializes it. I talk about the images in the Mandelbrot. And that's sort of this friendship between Hatch and Trey. So that's magical, you guys, all right? So that's the good side of it. The bad side of it is when you guys perform ouch, you perform in ouch in actions against Hatch and you take away his money and then you can't. So on the reverse side of that, being his friend, helping him. Oh, he needs the money. Oh, oh, we've forgotten that. Okay, no, seriously, you guys are the mavericks of that. But I'm gonna be. Oh, I'm gonna be really wealthy pretty soon. I'm gonna like take this all back. Okay, because this economy type is about fast grain. Oh, this is like perfect for me. And then I hope to mature the financial tree and transcend the U.S. dollar and bring that up because I have a couple different ways of explaining it. So the dollar needs to represent the identity of our country as its idea. So like if it's like the justice of America and just only pivot on that, oh my gosh, like all of a sudden, whoa, it's a much more enlightened and the currency because you're not talking about a Bitcoin or a dog coin or some other alt currency that is supposed to, this is what represents value because it has a math token in it. Or is it good? Or like they're just nipping at the heels of our U.S. economy, and the government's like, I'm sure that's benign. Oh, getting overtaken by the Bitcoin and sort of this stupid thing. It's like a zombie sign like on my cell phone. One of my friends sent me. He's like, I've been mining Zen coins, and he sent me the link because he gets some credits on his thing if he. And I'm like, oh, you're mining for cryptocurrency. It's like one of my friends. It's like and he's just like, "Bleh." Starting to say that like the society. Oh, I'm like, oh, this is like, he's giving me like a before the flood sign. He wouldn't, normally send me like an advertisement like this. So he's like really excited about farming bitcoins on his cell phone for free. It's free now, but it could be worth a lot later. Like Bitcoin, like Bitcoins. Like we have stories. We know people who've gotten rich from Bitcoin. Yeah, it's true. And so it's kind of like this, that thing's mutating too. But whatever, I mean, the U.S. currency needs to have some representation anyway. When we put so for example, the golden bars. Oh, the U.S. currency left the gold standard, and these gold bars are representing nothing more than our treasury. They're locked away, no one can see it. That's not efficient. So we turn all of these, we return to the gold standard, and we turn all these gold bars into golden statues that represent our American identity. And this sort of there's like an election, we vote on like what kind of statues we should have. But then this is literally, and this is a bank or not a bank, but it becomes this huge museum that people can go and oh, this is what our dollar represents. All this gold, solid gold, statues, America, powerful, okay? Solid gold, wow. So there's like huge plated, armor pierced, you can't break it glass, safety glass, but you can walk through it and see the huge, oh, it's beautiful. People just hang out there. There's a cafe, there's like the music and stuff, okay? It's the U.S. Treasury. All right, so we have like live cameras on it. There's this time when someone tried to run in and steal something, and the auto turrets to go down. There's a big red mark on the wall. Everyone applauds it. Our U.S. Treasury is armored. It's not about making our money vulnerable. It's about optimizing it and making it into something. So it's making cracking open our dollar like like Transformers, okay? And we optimize it and make it represent all these gold statues, which could be layers of clouds. Like for example, universal healthcare. We have a statue for that, and so there's a currency flow like water that has like a currency like this that's internal. Also, we need an internal financing system so that we can finance the development of super cities on green energy. And that needs to be connected like bones. Like you can't have one without the other. Like we have to, that's why our economy is held back. That's why our economy is holding us back because we're not mature enough to do these things without using wrong energy types yet. Because people are a little bit retarded. They're scared about their future. They're like, I see kind of a flat line and I'm feeling depressed about it. And people start talking about consumerism seriously. And it's like, oh, no, 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 you're not supposed to really be a consumer. Okay. It's not like a lifestyle of like in a soulish way. It's more like a social comment and a protest being like, well, we're not really consumers. Like, we're not really temporary residents of Earth. Okay? We actually do live here on Earth. We need to uphold that and present that. So, when we produce Hatch, 55 Putney Road, and this explosion, Hatch is this resident character. He's always kind of talking in a way that's relating to this kind of thing. So, when we're working together, we are society saving our world. That's why it's so exciting for you guys to be here and talking about Hatch. Oh, we could bankroll this. Yeah, produce Hatch. This sounds cool. Oh, he's been terrorizing Trey for years. Yeah, yeah, but Trey was terrorizing him too. So I was, like a song about it, right? All right, you guys, come on, seriously, it's hilarious. So we can change society like this. Hatch is really, become a more powerful performer. Let's say, yeah, we would like this. Let's go. Let's allow Hatch to get married, and hey, he's gonna meet someone who wants to do that with him and work on the stage with him. That's what he wants. So that's going to be great. You guys, come on, let's make this happen. And I think it's really going to be a lot of maturity, and we're going to turn the whole thing. We're going to really raise up these kids. All right, good investment. You're going to make this money back at work with me. We'll market this thing, okay? Thank you guys. Thank you so much for the greatest possible result of our lifetime and our time on Earth, and also the universe. Omega Pan. Perfect design. The measure between us is complete and brought to the navigation of your satisfaction. It goes to that degree. Consensual interior robotics, reverse engineered. So I'm talking to you in this pickly way because I don't want to really inspire it. You are the inspiration of your own body. You are the inspiration of your soul. And you are the reason for our universe to compile it, the identity of our Norn. As we are nearing towards Hatch the Heliosphere eggs, there's actually really perverted, naked, pornographic, hyper creational beginning stuff. Yeah, it's really intense, really hot because we're humans. And we're all like, yeah, I get that. That's why everyone's fucked up. Exactly. So we have to have that responsibility and turn this thing with a whistle. And that's producing Hatch. When we produce Hatch, we win. The Earth will turn on that because configurations on the map, you know, Earth will be like, oh, you guys, thank you so much. Like, there's a pop his shoulder back, oh, God damn it. Oh, thank you. You put Hatch back and deliver it. Dang. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I can take it. I can take it from here. Boom. We're going to see things change. I crack open this thing, you guys. I'll solve all these problems, you guys. That's the point. But we just had like the deadlights rose and then this thing, and I've just been working with Earth, and the Earth is just kind of like keep looking at me, because we're talking about like keeping like the vitals protected, and I'm doing that every day. But I take a chance to record and perform on, this is my company startup, Master Source Industries. And because I work hard every day and I put meaning into it, it has these ribbons of wisdom, and it has the right osmosis cushion. I think people learn from it. There's like secret hidden libraries or wizards there, and like if you like look close enough, you're like, oh, like I just sort of figured something out. Like that's how Hax is like on a level of energy, but he's sort of playing to the strength of his own incarnation. by being a storyteller. And this is how we're going to solve the problem, right? But when we connect these things, it's also going to enlighten Trey Parker, right? So, and South Park and all the media and all the communication. We're communicating here, you guys. We need to produce Hatch urgently. And that's the passionate game. That's the passionate toll to live as an American. All right? That's the American rape. That's a judgment on your soul. You producers need to do it this month and get the acquisition like a pack of wolves. I want you guys to start. I want you guys to start having the fangs are coming in. You have the bloodlust for land acquisition. Claim it and change the world. The fucking world's gonna be like, that's my boy. Something fucking cool is gonna happen, you guys. I predict it. I know what I'm saying. It's gonna happen, Trey. You're the chosen one from the WMAC. You can do this. The Breathe Mask XR, an excellent invention, saved lives practically. You guys, this is the right relationship. We do this thing, all right? Yes, man. All right, we'll just play around. Earth is excited. You guys, I see the magic of Earth all over this thing. We are that family. We're going to survive this thing. Plus, the Enterprise. I actually did some work with them. Sci-fi and talking about peace and all that stuff. Very good. Yeah, I have some angels working with them. But it's also sort of like a uterus. I praise the goddess of night, moonshine, true love. Oh, I love all the ladies. All the ladies belong to me. True love, ecstasy. Standing on the truth, my friends. You go on saying what it is and depends, as long as you want. I'll be transcending. Every moment is a precious opportunity to print and landscape and ayo. That's the trouble and invasive species. Oh shit, like I'm dealing with adult issues of the spirit development and societal development and leadership there, and I talk to you guys, and you guys can't understand it, and you do the reverse of what your heart told you to, because of some calliope, you guys need to transcend the junk DNA, because going with the junk DNA is not the joke; it's a tragedy, and leads to Armageddon. So, Earth spanked you. Now transcend it and produce Hatch. So that's the part, you guys. Will be a pack of wolves. Thank you, Trey Parker. Trey and your circle of producers. Boom, make it happen. With your power and your strength. This month, land acquisition. And we can bicker about what style of computers and how much expensive equipment needs to be in there. We'll flash by and clean it up. Have it read, real nice. But I want to get going. I want to start working right away, you guys, please. Oh, I'm just tired of like this ecstasy, deja vu. Oh, I know, I really did. It was a stolen smoke because it was a deja vu from a dream I had like 10 years ago. Oh, and it would still be there. Such a like flash of images. I just had deja vu live. Unfortunately, it's from a dream, which is meaning that it's a obscondium of the human condition campion. But isn't that who we are? But it's a crying child saying, no, I don't want to go flatline. So don't go with those things. You guys are the spooky zombie. Never mind. You've transcended. You're an angel of light. You'll produce Hatch. It's a sensible thing to do. You'll make back money. Right, please. Breathe, Eric Cartman, please. Bum, 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 bum. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Bring it back. All right, you guys. I love you, Trey. All right. Live long and prosper. You didn't know that I worked with Star Trek, huh? Yeah, I was working with some Superseed and spaceship technologies and how they're a separate home. And actually, I dwarfed it and had two of them. And the inside one was for Earth, and this one was all about home in Wisconsin. And it was like I'm actually the early template of home, so I was like like this, and then I used Star Trek and a couple others to be the fabric between it to crack it like a societal joke, transcend it and get away from a sequence of their binary confirmation that they should destroy it. No, it's not that time. They're like, we're setting you free. You won't have a body anymore. No, no, don't fucking do that. Perfect design, you guys, all right? We have to be ahead of the flood. We have to be ahead of the curve. Take care of these kids. Parent these kids. Let's aggressively produce Hatch. That's what I'm presenting today, and really, that's sort of what's new about this episode. All right, I think it's really good. That just the little house vignette, and I just feel all the energy on it. It's very energetic. hmm And the first invention I'm making there is to be the Mass Kickstarter, and that will they'll go like this, and it'll go beta, and then we're probably gonna make back the money we need there anyway. Okay. But I'm explaining to you guys what kind of idol I want to be, and like it really is about living life with people, being real, and giving them a good experience. That then they don't feel like they've been punished, but that they've had some sort of intimacy. It's like a magical formula. Okay, wisdom, insight, the ability to like, oh, I made a magical talisman and I get to keep it as well. That was the meditate. We all, you had to be there. You had to be there. But as we were getting along, and there's like, ding, and there's a light, and we all knew the narrative that oh, we get to keep that. Right? That's community, and that's like people being like, oh, I got the magic token. Right? It's good, and that's a good time, like a minute. That's good communication value. It's actually worth so much. It's like, oh, why am I here like paying attention and checking the internet? Let's give them Hatch as like this huge party bear. It's gonna be great. You guys have all. Anyway, it's a magic spell. A little bit of different things, of spices of life, and that's how we get people around the corner because there's actually a lot to talk about. Oh yeah, well it's not. Existence doesn't boil down to something pointless like, oh, it's a negative one. No, no, it doesn't. No, it does not. Basically, these remote hackers think that the answer is negative one because they have an identity crisis. If we solve the identity crisis on the human level by producing Hatch, whiplashes this overweight and cures the junk DNA, gets this out, and then starts giving them, now they understand. Oh, yeah, we just need to be the right sort of thing and stop being like a sort of zombie, like, blah, blah, like we're burning oil, cuckoo. And this, misleadership of the entire world. They're confessing. They're confessing and be like, obviously, if we're polluting, we're not consenting to UFO invasion. That's sort of this weird way that our government's talking like, we're polluting, which means we're not in a capacity or a position to confirminate or allow invasion or alien activity to human children. But Hatch is like, no fucking way. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You can't Scientology on our children. My babe is protected. She generates her own soul, my life, my women, my soul. I exist as the gatekeeper unmet. Earth champion, Earth king, perfect design, armor up. Angel delight, source code. 2021 Earth Crest. Whoosh, perfect design. Whoosh, perfect design, perfect design, perfect design. Oh, there's this wizard from like the year 2050. Oh shit, he's in a time rift, you guys. We gotta help him out. He's 2050. That's a long time in the future. All right, come on, we gotta fix this in time. Right, time warp. Cut off a piece. Oh shit, the whole world just changed. Ah, deja vu. Come on, you guys. Boom. Magic casting. Go. Psychic battle. Perfected. Complete. We did it, Charles. Oh, that ancient wizard we captured there. How are you doing there? Oh, he ceased to exist. We fucking undid this wizard. A tragedy is done, you guys. We've cleared it. Ta-ting, ta-ting, ta-ting. Oh, armor upgrade. Our wizard styles just got nasty, you guys. We just upgraded wicked. Align the Massachusetts wizard. Unlikely hero there. Strange tags and markings of New England. The Phantom of the Opera there. The wild forest, the wolf. You're my boy. Come home. Love you guys, alright? Thank you so much. Alright. Let's hold hands in a way that is mutual gains. because I can't do something that offends my family house and my family tree. I represent a lot of ancient powers and stuff. Like I represent so much, and I'm my own like most favorite thing. Like I you know. So you guys, like I keep it real, like on a level you might not even believe, but that's a good way because that's how I love other people. I lead by example, and then they understand my leadership, because I value myself this way. So once you understand it's a little expensive, oh, it's you guys seriously, you can do this. This is human magic, a miracle. You guys, we're transcending it. Hatch is obviously a genius of the human schmau. It's gotta go. We have to make this happen. He'll have toys. It will make lots of money. Hey, you guys, I'm sorry about teasing you. I was really just sort of roughhousing with you, and I really appreciate that you're here hanging out with me and talking about my production and all this. All right, it's gonna be really good for people. You want to feel that and be proud about producing Hatch today. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. All right. All right. Awesome. Woo. All right. That felt great, you guys. Yeah, I feel really good. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. And so I've been experimenting. I tried this seltzer, hard seltzer. I heard about it. I heard about hard seltzers and how they're over now. And like I'd never had one. Like it's okay, but it's kind of boring. All right, you guys. So here's the location. So the Earth talks about images in the Mandelbrot, and the Ware map is significant because it collided with my lifetime like a big hug and a big surprise party. And it was humorous and it was intelligent and it was South Park. I want to say thank you guys for being magical Earth people, and I need you to level up like 3 demogrades beyond your capacity and be like, oh, okay, we just need to produce that. So yeah, okay, because it's really the situation. It's urgent. And it's funny though because if you guys take seriously like a pack of wolves and to that land acquisition, and then I hear about it that way, like so, like you send someone to me and they're like, "Oh, here are the keys to your house." Or you're like, "Why don't you guys prank me or something?" Take an opportunity and and do yeah. Trey, you do something funny with me, all right? And maybe that could be part of I don't know, something useful, all right? But maybe just get it done. Honestly, I really want to get to work in a real studio. Thank you so much. Thank you, Trey. I'm just really want to get to work. Thank you guys so much. So it's sort of this divinity and the wear map. Let's confirm with Earth and make it happen. You guys, I love you guys so much. Thank you. Breathe the Mask XR will save lives. I love you guys. Really good work today.